Hi everyone, how are you doing? Back on Train Sim World 2. Just thought I'd do a very short run. We've had the Spirit of Steam news yesterday, so I thought it was a good time to jump back in, try and run something old. Probably the oldest thing I've got in the game right now, which is as near to Steam as I can get it, and that is the Class 31. We've got a lot of the old diesels, haven't we, currently in Train Sim World 2. And thought let's run something old. Let's do a short service or two. It's not going to be a long stream, but let's have a chat about Spirit of Steam while we go and just see how excited everybody is for that. So I am on the Cathcart circle. I am going to run the Class 31. There's a couple of rail tour services within the Cathcart timetable, as you can see right now on the screen. We've got one that runs from Glasgow Central down to Neilston. And then once we get to Neilston, there is one that comes out of Neilston and goes to Newton. And they're both just over 20 minutes each. There is a little bit of a wait on the first one once we get to Neilston, but we'll see how we get on. As I say, it's not going to be a long one. I just thought, well, I'm going to switch on. I'm quite excited about Spirit of Steam. And, you know, we've done a couple of lives recently. Train Sim World 2, and now this news has come out. Even more excuse to do that. So let me get this one underway. This should hopefully give me the Class 31, and it does. So I'll drive this rail tour service originating at Bowness from Glasgow to Neilston. So we have got 325.9 tonnes, a total of 5 coaches, which is 104.8 yards. So first of all, let's have a look outside. We can get the doors open, why not? Always got to have a bit of horn. Let's get everything set up. Actually, you know what? Look at this over here. This is my very feeble attempt at the livery, not the livery designer. Yeah, the livery designer. There you go. Can you see why I don't often jump into the livery designer? Because this is the kind of wonderful creation that you get. That is my themed train. If anybody wants to create me one, please do so, especially if it's on the 150. I would love the 150. I know there's some of you guys out there that are very creative, but if you want to create me a channel livery, if you've got time, please feel free. Right, this one, so as we're going into Neilston, is it Neilston, this direction? Let me just double check. Yeah, Neilston in this direction. Neilston is kind of the end of the line, so on the tail we've got a Class 47, so we can come back out the other way. Let's hop back and set up because we're going to be late setting off otherwise. Put that in forward. Let's get some lights on. We've got the instrument light switch right there. That's the cab light, we don't need that. Yep. The other lights are on the wall behind me. Tail light we don't need. Route indicator definitely. No cab light, don't need the engine room light. Let's get the safety systems on as well. One. Open a window. We'll take a nice screenshot of that one. I think looks pretty good. It's got my livery over there. but we can live with that. Let's get the doors closed. So we'll get the brakes off. These are going to take a little bit of time to come off. So we'll just wait for that. And then we'll be underway. Still, the brakes are coming off. We'll just try and ease forward. Let's jump back in the cab. So these are timetabled rail tour services. This is not the scenario planner, but of course, using the scenario planner, you can create similar. You can actually go around the whole circle, Cathcart circle, if you like. That's doable. The first objective is just to go via. It's actually a very good route, Cathcart. I do like it. I'm not usually a fan of the stop-start passenger sort of lines that we've got, but this one, whether because it's a UK one, I've always quite liked this one. Just going across the river. So these being timetable services, once we get Spirit of Steam, that's going to be really good because it will have full scenario planner support. So we can even run steam trains up here or on any route, pretty much. So it won't be confined just to that route, to the Crewe Liverpool Lime Street route. Obviously, the era setting will be the same as the steam trains are on that route, but then again, you know, steam trains don't look out of place anywhere, do they? So you can run steam trains wherever you want on the UK routes, that is. They won't look out of place. So there's going to be so many possibilities for that. I think actually it's going to be, you know, it's going to be a really popular bit of DLC. And after so long, it seems to have just come upon us. It's probably about a year, is it? I would think, since we first heard it was in the works. It's probably been in development a lot longer than that, to be honest. But there's been a few teasers just over the last few weeks, and then to get the date last night was excellent. It was really good news. So I did put out the little update video last night. It was a very late one. I think there was some issue with the website, the Dovetail Live website, so the article didn't go live until later than it probably was intended. But I did manage to get that video out, so I was pleased about that. Just in case anybody missed the official news from Dovetail themselves. And just looking at the route, I've got the details here of what comes with the route, and it's a 36 miles route, so it's not the longest we've had, but it's still a pretty decent size. So that 36 miles is 58 kilometres. I just need to make sure I don't speed as we come down the hill. So it's 36 kilometres running from Liverpool Lime Street to Crewe, as it was in 1958. So it's back in the late 50s, and it's been historically recreated with the track work and infrastructure. So there's been a couple of the streams that DTG have done where they've explained how they recreated it and how they got documentation together for researching the route, which was all quite interesting. The amount of photographs they've used, and of course normally they would use things like Google Earth to get the layout of the tracks and the route itself, but of course this being 1958, all that's not available anymore pretty much, so a lot of it had disappeared. So there's been quite a lot of research gone into this one. This is why I think that this will be a very good DLC, and Matt and a few of the others at DTG are Steam Train fanatics, so there's probably a lot of love gone into this one as well. There's 15 stations along the way as well. Now, don't know how difficult it is. I've never driven a steam train. I've not played TS Classic, so I've not had the opportunity to drive steam trains virtually. So I don't know how involved it is to stop and start a steam train at stations. I imagine it's much more difficult than driving this Class 31, for example. But there are 15 stations, which is quite nice. We get the LMS Jubilee class steam loco in late Brunswick green livery. Hi Jaffa, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. Just having a quick talk about Spirit of Steam whilst we drive something old along the Cathcart circle. We're in the Class 31 today. So as well as the Jubilee class, we get the LMS Stania 8F class, and that is in a weathered BR Late unlined black livery. There's various vehicles as well that we're going to get, so I'll just read those to you. We get Mark 1 FKs. These don't mean a lot to me, by the way, but I know some of you guys that are really into the steam trains and this era will know exactly what this is. Mark 1 FKs, TSO, BSO and BG coaches in BR maroon and blood and custard liveries. I know what blood and custard is. I've seen those on West Somerset, so I'm familiar with that. Then we've got 16-ton mineral, 5-plank, conflat and standard van wagons and a 20-ton brake van. And I'm speeding. Let me take this power off. We do have a slight uphill gradient. Now it's gone flat. That's fine. I'll just bring it down slightly. What else have we got? All new authentic steam locomotive simulation. Yeah, I think we've seen a little bit of that, haven't we, on the previews? Well, they're not previews, they were more like teasers, weren't they? They're more like teasers. I think now that the release date has been announced, and it's only what, 3 weeks away, something like that. I think that we're probably going to see quite a lot of this over the next few weeks. I'm assuming it's ready or pretty much ready to go, so I'm hoping we get a bit more of a release preview of this one than we have done on the last few routes. And hi Maury Theory, thanks for the answer about day 1 patch for tourist busing. No, you're welcome, and thanks for coming into the channel and watching the videos. I appreciate it. If I can answer any question, I definitely will do. I'm always happy to answer where I can, so no problems there. Just going back to the Spirit of Steam. Highly detailed, feature-rich driving cabs with accurate, true-to-life performance and handling. So that can be a good thing and a bad thing, can't it, with a steam train? I just hear from everybody that steam trains are quite complicated to drive. And having not had any experience of it, I can't comment either way, but certainly, you know, with these kind of trains, we're basically putting the reverser in forwards, we're releasing the brakes and we're going. There's obviously a lot more to do with a steam train, so part of me is really looking forward to the challenge. It's something completely different in train sim, and it's that challenge, I think, that is piquing my interest. There's going to be mistakes, definitely. There's going to be some mistakes. Things are going to stop. We're not going to be able to get it going again, but just over time we'll work that out. That's part of the challenge, isn't it? Just looking down the list, we have got authentic and detailed sound recordings recorded from the real locomotives. So that's good, because that's very important, isn't it, for the whole community. Sound is always one of those things that is immediately picked up on when a new DLC comes out for Train Sim World, so it's nice that they've taken the time and gone out and got those recordings. This is Cathcart, by the way, that we are just passing through. Cathcart station. So the next stop is Neilston itself, which is 7 miles away. So we're getting up to the fast section now. And there's a 314 coming the other way. That, of course, is the train that comes with this route. Thanks everybody for coming in, by the way. I do appreciate it. Drop me a like if you haven't done so already. That will really help me. That won't cost you anything. I'll never ask you for any money. Jaffa says one of the best trains is a Class 101, changing gears like a car. I was talking to one of the ambassadors this morning, the other DTG ambassadors, and they were telling me actually that driving a steam train, the brakes on a steam train work similar to a 101. So I trust him. So I assume that's quite accurate. Some people struggle, don't they, with the brakes on the 101. It's about getting into a rhythm, isn't it? It's a lap brake. So I don't know if the steam trains work like that, but he kind of suggested that it's something similar. So we'll see. I'm Murray says Tourist Bus Simulator is the first bus simulator played, so shocked by the bugs. Already wrote an email that my review will come out after the patches. Yeah, Tourist Bus Sim will have a big day one patch, I think. I'm Murray Theory. So once that patch drops and the game releases tomorrow, we'll run another stream and we'll have a look at what's changed in the patch. But I haven't found too much wrong with it, to be honest, so far, apart from some of the scenery issues that we've got. The scenery isn't this quality. It's not the quality of Train Sim World. But I think when Train Sim World came out, the quality wasn't as good as this. There's been a lot of graphical improvements over time with this, and it's much better now than it was when it first came out. So I'm not going to put too much speed in, because we don't want to arrive too early, because there is a wait at the other end. So Jaffa says driving the 101 is like driving a big bus and tourist bus. Challenging. It is challenging. Would you say the 101 is the most challenging train to drive so far in TSW? It's a question I've not really asked myself. There's other trains with lap brakes as well, isn't there? Is it the F40 on Peninsula Corridor? I've not been on the Peninsula Corridor since moving to the PS5. It's one of the routes, unfortunately, that I haven't been able to load back in because of the 64 gig limit issue. So I've not got Peninsula Corridor. I've got a whole route there to replay again once that issue's fixed. Whatever the current most difficult train is to drive in this game. I think once the Steam trains arrive in 3 weeks, we've got a new contender. It might be a new contender for quite a while. I think the 101 will seem easy after that, to be honest. So just going back to the list regarding Spirit of Steam, it says, of course, Journey mode is available, featuring over 24 hours of activities for you to master. So I don't know if you guys use Journey mode, or you use that as a task list, or whether you just dive into service mode when you're playing Train Sim World. I tend to do a little bit of both. I do like the fact that we've got some pre-selected services with weather pre-selected, etc. So I do tend to run quite a few of those. So I do a bit of both. I certainly don't start the game and set out with a mission to complete all the journey mode. But sometimes if I can't decide what service to run, I'll jump into journey mode and I'll play something that's already been picked out for me. I do quite like that idea. So there are accessible training modules. I think the training modules for Spirit of Steam certainly are going to be visited more than once. I think it's going to take quite a while, so what I'll do is I'll of course record those as well, and I'll put those on the channel once they're available, so that when you're playing the game you can have the tutorial right next to you in case you get stuck. There are also 5 detailed and engaging scenarios, so I'm looking forward to those. I do enjoy the scenarios because you do get to do a little bit more, don't you, than going A to B. And let me just show you this, if you've not seen it. This is the mastery. There's a crashed UFO over there. I don't know if UFOs are particularly prevalent in Scotland, and that's why this route has the UFO. But it's a nice touch. It looks good at night, I'll tell you that much. Because at night the UFO and the surrounding area all light up blue, and it does look really nice. iTrash Pandai, welcome to the channel. Says, I know nothing about Steam locos. God knows what's going to happen when I drive it. I'm excited though. Yeah, we're all in the same boat. We're exactly in the same boat. And as I said a bit earlier, it's going to be a challenge. It's fine, isn't it, if you get it wrong? This is, you know, you don't want to buy a game or a DLC that's easy. Just become boring, won't it, very, very quickly. You want some challenge, and certainly where Steam trains are concerned, you're going to get that challenge. But it is exciting. I think now we've got the release date, it's even more exciting. So as well as the scenarios, it says extensive 24-hour timetable. There will also be a selection of route tasks or collectibles to complete, and it will be compatible with Livery Designer, Scenario Planner and Creators Club. I think there's going to be some interesting ones in Creators Club, isn't there? Some liveries and scenarios there once everybody gets their hands on it. You know, I'm not, in real life, I'm not really, I wouldn't say I'm a Steam fan. I can take them or leave them. They're different when you see them. But I'm not, I wouldn't go out of my way to go and see a Steam engine, but there is definitely something nostalgic about it. And I'm actually quite excited. I think this could be one of the most popular, if not the most popular DLC that will have been made for TSW. Unfortunately, we're probably never going to get the statistics on that once it goes on sale. DTG will keep that to themselves, but I think, like me, even if in real life you're not that interested in Steam, you certainly want to try and drive one in the game and compare it to what you're used to. So iTrash says, looks amazing so far. I'll assume there'll be a stream this week, I hope. I don't know actually. iTrash. Might be a bit soon for it to be this week, I would say. What we might get over the next week or so is a couple more teasers, I assume. I don't know that for a fact though. But you know, hopefully the previews will start a little bit earlier, just given the excitement. So we got 2 miles down to Neilston. As I said at the beginning, once you get to Neilston, there is a little bit of a wait. Maybe something like 5 minutes. So we can always back out once we get to Neilston. Then we can run the service the other way. We could try that. iTrust says livery designer will be good for this. Yeah. There's a lot of people in the community that are quite fanatical about steam trains, so it'll give us all an opportunity to get some new liveries and learn a little bit more. I said in the last live stream that I did for Train Sim World that one of the things about this game is that, as well as just driving the trains, if you're involved in the community and with you guys and on the forums, etc., you can pick up so much knowledge about trains that you didn't know beforehand. That, you know, it doesn't just stop at driving the train in the game, and that's what I quite like about it, because I'm not a big train person at all, but the level of knowledge I've got now compared to when I started playing this back in 2018, you know, is way better than it was. And I'm going to take the power off for risk of running straight through the end of Neilston station. We are on a 1% gradient just now. Jaffa's looking forward to Tourist Bus because he's been waiting for it since August. Not long to go now, Jaffa. And I know you're the real Jaffa today because you've got the correct avatar. I don't know who the imposter was on last night's stream. That was a bit of a strange one. iTrust says, I'm not train savvy either. Learned a fair bit from other people. We have a lovely community. We do, yeah, we do. It's funny, isn't it? You go into the DTG streams and you start to get to know everybody, don't you? In the streams, everybody's usernames from the forums, etc. So it is a good community, and of course I'm part of the DTG Ambassador program, and all the ambassadors are really nice as well, and they're all willing to share information. So, you know, everybody's there to help everybody, so it's pretty good. I think that's why a lot of people also have been requesting multiplayer. Because if you've got multiplayer, then you can obviously take that to the next level and kind of help each other in game. Because some of these locos, they're not straightforward, are they? When you first jump in, you can watch the tutorials, but not everything is in the tutorial. You won't know how to use PZB from one of the in-game tutorials, for example. So, you know, you have to go off to YouTube and places like that and the community to find out how to use certain bits. The manuals and the tutorials tend to cover the basics of getting the train going, don't they? So this is Neilston Station. We've got a train in the other platform, which is why we need to wait once we get to the end. If you listen carefully, you can hear the ambient noise of a football match going on over to our left. Don't know if you can hear that. There's no players on the football pitch, but there's definitely a football match going on somewhere. Oh, so it was you, Jeffer. Oh, right, you confused me. You did confuse me. I trust you want multiplayer with proximity chat. It'll be amazing. Sometimes you need someone to help. Yeah. There's probably a bit of a balancing act, isn't there, with multiplayer, in that they would need to think how to do it properly, because you will get some people like us that will play the multiplayer quite seriously and will help each other out, and maybe, you know, one take the driver role, one take the guards role, if that ever becomes a thing. But then you'll get other players who just want to cause trouble and, you know, leave a train in your way and cause a red light, and so you can't move forward. And so it would, you know, the multiplayer would have to be some kind of invite system, wouldn't it? So that you didn't get trolls just trying to ruin the experience, because you don't want to do a two hour run on Sandpatch or something like that, only for somebody at the other end to mess it up for you. Okay, Jeff, thanks for stopping in. I'll catch you later. Rogan, how are you doing? Thanks for coming in, appreciate it. Yeah, so we got this red light here. I'm thinking when that other train leaves, I can hear the doors. He's got a green. Let's just see if it lets us move up once he disappears. Gotta put the brake back on. He's away now, so I'm hoping we will get a green light. I'm good, thanks, Rogan. Yeah, how's yourself? Yeah, you alright? So we're on Cathcart Circle. We've been talking about Spirit of Steam. And I'm just trying to run something old. I have no Steam trains, obviously, but I'm trying to run something old. And just while we're at the football pitch, something, I've mentioned this before, but this annoys me, right? Why are those goals, to me, the goals are led down the wrong way. Look at that one there. The part of the goal that should be the base is here on the right hand side, I think. I think the bit at the bottom should be the front of the goal. That should be the front of the goal, down there. See what I mean? That's the base there. This is the front. That's just a little niggle that's bugged me the whole time with the football goals. But, you know, I try not to be one of those guys who says a fence is out of place or it's the wrong type of fence or something like that. But the football goals really niggle me. But I can live with it. It's not going to stop me. It's not going to stop me driving trains. Right, I'm not sure when it's going to clear us to run up to the head shunt there. So what I'm going to do, in the interests of us being able to move on, I'm going to drop out of that service. And, oh, there is the splash screen. That's nice, that's new. What we're going to do is go back the other way. And I think we'll go back on the 47, because we had the 47 on the back of the one that we just ran. So we can go from Neilston now at 2:30 up to Newton. So let's do that one. Drive this rail to service bound for Bowness from Neilston to Newton. Okie doke. So you can see here, we're at the head shunt now. Although we've got a 47 on the back, I'd changed it to a 31. So this is basically carrying on from the service we just did. We've got two 47s, topping and tailing. Let's get everything set up ready to go first of all. So master key on. Let's work the lights. Marker lights are actually the headlights on this. I always get confused when I see marker lights. I think tail lights. The desk light switch is the instrument lights on this one. I don't think we've got anything else over this side that we need to put on. We've got the reverse there. Let's let some fresh air in. We need to put the safety systems on. I can't even see in this darkness. Right. Let's turn that off so I can see you. Right, so what I need to do is turn that one off. I need to do this one first, I think. That's caught me out before, so the AWS first, and then we do the cab changeover. That's better. Jump back in the seat. Right, let's put it in forward. iTrust says, agree, it's going to be hard to sort out multiplayer. Want us to have walkie-talkies, like a push-to-talk, only for the drivers though. If you choose to be a passenger, you'll use proximity chat. I'm sure iTrust there's a lot of discussions going on about that. I think in the surveys, I think multiplayer always comes up, doesn't it, quite highly in the surveys. Right, let's get into the station. They took it off the surveys because they already know we want it. Yeah. I'm sure actually, you know, there's lots and lots of things that, you know, they don't publicly talk about that they're working on. I'm sure there's a long-term plan with things that just need to be worked out. Because we didn't know about Steam, did we, for a long time, and then Steam was announced, which was a nice surprise. So we'll pick all these passengers up here. We'll have a quick look at the departure boards as well. So this says this is a timetable service, so the departure boards should be working. It's not a scenario planner service. We'll get the doors open first. Let's go and have a look. So this is the 1433 to Newton. 3 coaches. This service is operated by Dovetail Rail Tours. That's a nice touch. You know, I've not seen that before. I haven't seen that. Is it going to give us the stations? Here we go. Calling at Newton only. So we've got a direct service. And following us just less than an hour later, there will be a train in to Glasgow. So that's pretty cool. This is Dovetail Rail Tours, this service. And we're in 47539. I remember on Tees Valley Line when the Class 31 came out, just out of interest, I wasn't sure how many numbers, train numbers, were in the game, and I don't even know if they're real or not. I don't know if they're real numbers, but I did actually start writing down all the Class 31s that I actually drove. I ended up with a massive list. I've still got the list somewhere. I should check those against some kind of database somewhere. So that's everybody on board. We've got 12 miles to Newton, so let's get started. Give it some thrash. So we do have a red coming up, 2.3 miles. Could be there's a train in front of us. So it sounds like a few of you guys are quite excited about the Spirit of Steam, and that it'll probably be, I would say, a day one purchase for many of you, just because it's the first Steam train, so that's good. The first Steam route. I mean, as well as the trains themselves and the fact we can drive Steam, I'm also quite interested in the route. Because I'm from, well, it's northwest, isn't it? So I'm from that area of the country. I'm not that far from Liverpool by road. I can probably be in Liverpool in 45 minutes, maybe, going via the motorway, so I'm not that far. I'm in Lancashire, so I'm just next door to Merseyside. So, you know, Liverpool Lime Street in its current form, I'm quite familiar with, and I'm interested to see it back in 1958. I could see some of the architecture in the screenshot yesterday is the same as it is now. The sort of arched way, kind of roof canopy is still there, the same. But we just got that one screenshot of Liverpool Lime Street, which I actually used as the thumbnail for last night's update video about Spirit of Steam. Yeah, Lime Street's going to be nice to look at. And the cutting, of course, right before you get into Lime Street station as well. Where they've cut right through the rock. That'll be interesting to see in game. Right, keeping my eye on this red light we've got coming up. Make sure we stop for this. That's a good question, iTrash. Which loco do you feel you like more, the Jubilee or the 8F? I don't know, actually. Because as well as the passenger stuff, I do quite like running the freight stuff, because with the freight stuff, of course, you get a little bit of a longer run without stopping and starting. So I do like doing freight runs on all the routes, actually, where freight's available. So at this stage, I don't really have a preference, because I've not driven Steam before. I don't really know yet what the difference is going to be, so we'll see how that is on the preview streams. Russ XD, thanks for stopping in. How are you doing? You like the 8F, iTrash. You like the freight stuff. Yeah, me too. And I hope, you know, where the freight's concerned, I hope the yards are all well populated, even if it's just some static traffic in some of the yards, or, you know, if you can get trains in the background moving backwards and forwards, going along doing the daily business, you know, as you would expect to see in a busy freight yard in the 50s. That would be really good. There's a lot of questions, aren't there, right now, and we can only really go from screenshots and the trailer so far. I think the first preview stream that DTG actually run is gonna be well attended, I would say. Just guessing. So we've got 9.2 miles. We're chasing something here. We keep getting a red. Thanks everyone again for coming in. Do appreciate it. leave me a thumbs up. That will really help the channel get noticed. And I will be streaming this on the release day, so if you haven't quite made your mind up, you can jump in and have a look at that with me. I'll be running that. I'll probably do several hours actually, because I'm not working that day, so I've no plans. It just so happens that I'm lucky to say it's releasing on the day that I'm not working, so I might sit in front of the PS5, and that's the other thing. Let's see how it runs on console. We've not talked about that yet. I will be running it on the PS5, so if you want to know specifically how it runs on console, then this channel is where you need to look. Yeah, iTrash says probably the biggest release. I think so. Yep. Right, so that's interesting. You're on PS4 then, iTrash. And it should be the same, shouldn't it? Because I don't know this for a fact. We'll need to check this, but I don't think there are any layers, because it's a Steam route, so we've nothing else in the game right now that would come into Spirit of Steam. There's nothing else in the game, is there, that was there at the time? I don't think. So I don't think there's going to be any layers. Christopher, how are you doing? Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. How are you doing today? Yeah, because sometimes, a couple of routes, the last gen consoles miss out on layers, don't they, because of the performance issues and things like that. There's the UFO again, which is unlocked as part of the mastery for Cathcart Circle. Yeah, sometimes the last gen of consoles miss out on layers because of performance, but in this case there are no layers, I don't think. But let's see what they say. But I can't see there being any layers. Right, we just got a yellow, so we're okay. Christopher says I'm good and been liking the videos. Oh, thanks very much. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Are you subbed as well, Christopher? Are you subbed to the channel? Hopefully. iTrash, London commuter crashes for me. Yeah, Joe, it's a shame that, isn't it? Yeah, some people have reported that. On the PS5, of course, it's not bad on the PS5. There's been a few issues, but generally it's been pretty good. Sometimes in Victoria Station, it's as if you're stepping through treacle. You know what I mean? When you're trying to set up the train to leave Victoria, occasionally there's so much traffic around Victoria and so much scenery going on though. But crashes wise, I think I've been okay crashes wise. But then again, London commuter's pretty ambitious, isn't it? When you think about it, and the amount of services and layers, and there's so much going on with London commuter. It is a very good route. And once again, as I've said before, you can get a good long run, which is my type of thing. Running between Victoria and Brighton is a really pleasant run. Oh, good, Christopher. Good to hear. Thanks for that. Thank you for subbing to the channel. I'm a small channel, but I'm growing. Thanks to you guys. Yeah, Joe from DTG and his timetables. As Joe, I wonder if Joe has been on Spirit of Steam. I can't recall whether he's been involved in Spirit of Steam. But yeah, Joe's a revelation there where the timetables are concerned. A timetable fanatic. So we've got a 20 coming up as we approach Cathcart Circle, and we go off to the right. But we sort of leave the circle behind as we go off down to Newton. So we'll start slowing it up now. Yeah, you mean the Spirit of Steam, Christopher? Yeah, yes, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. You can tell it's going to be good because last night I was trying to get into the Dovetail Live article. Once the rumours were going around the forums and Discord that there was an article going up, I was trying to launch the article, and DTG Live was having lots of problems. So you always know when everybody's trying to hammer the website. And eventually I got in because I was streaming the tourist bus last night. I planned to stream that about 6:15 my time, and I think by the time the news had come out about Spirit of Steam and I'd put the video together and got downstairs ready to go on the console to do tourist bus, I think it was an hour later than that, something like that. So the news threw me, but it was pleasant news. It was very pleasant news. Christopher, oh, you mean tourist bus? You're waiting for tourist bus? Yeah, not long to go with tourist bus. That will release tomorrow on consoles. Definitely looking forward to that. I'm trying to cover all modes of transport on the channel. It's mainly been trains and TSW, as you know. And if you're on Xbox, you're fortunate enough to get a very decent flight sim as well, but I can't get that on the PS5. But yeah, as far as travelling on a bus goes, driving buses, tourist bus sim is very popular. I think it'll do quite well. So really, it's a good week. Tourist bus sim tomorrow. The announcement about Spirit of Steam for Train Sim World 2. So certainly for me, being able to bring content to the channel, it's been a very good week. So there's Cathcart Circle there going off to the left, and if we look at the map, you can see the circle just there, and we are coming out to the right all the way down to Newton. Christopher, you're on PS5. Yeah, that's good. If you can find one, and you're on PlayStation, yeah, I can recommend it. I will say though that I've still not found, me personally, the type of games I play, I've still not found a compelling reason to move up from PS4 to PS5, apart from the obvious performance benefits. Train Sim World does look a lot better though on the PS5, and it runs with a lot less stutter, I will say that. So we've just got 4.6 miles. I think I trust that the whistle for the steam trains should be spot on. You know, the very fact that they've said they've been out to record the sounds of these engines. you know, I wouldn't have thought we'd have anything to worry about there. It should be authentic. I'm sure in the first 5 minutes of the first preview stream, we'll get multiple people calling for the horn in the chat, so we'll soon find out. So we're just passing through Kings Park. This is Kings Park Station. I remember actually being quite excited for this Class 47 when it came out. I remember as a kid seeing these all the time. And you know, when I first found out there was a chance to drive one, I was quite excited, and I've used it quite a lot. You know, both on West Somerset, the green one on West Somerset, but also this one from Northern Transpennine, and the 31 as well. I was very excited about the 31. I'm a bit of a sucker for these BR Blue engines. And the 31 as well. Let's have a look at this 47. Yeah, so on this 47 as well, the weathering, I love that weathering on the side. Just, you know, some of the engines tended to be a bit shiny, didn't they, at the beginning, but this weathering effect now that they've got, and the dirt on the side, is perfect. .2 miles until we arrive at Newton. As we thunder through the next station. Everybody's standing behind the yellow line. Oh, there's always that one guy, isn't there, that has to stand on the yellow line. These rail tours are actually quite pleasant runs. I'm glad they included these. And once Spirit Steam comes out, there will be scenarios created on all sorts of different routes, I'm sure. So we're making good progress. Again, I'm not really that bothered about the time for this one. This is a rail tour. The passengers we've got on this type of train are not bothered in the slightest about being on time. They want to spend as much time on the train as possible. So we'll give them the wish. We'll arrive a few minutes late. So let me take the power off. We are downhill at the moment. So if you're in the stream, you're enjoying the stream, please leave me a like. Much appreciated. Right, so we're just a mile to go. Just leave the brake on initial. Thanks, Christopher. Appreciate that. Every YouTuber asks for likes. It can get a bit monotonous, got it? But honestly, they do really help to help people discover the channel. Really, that's the only reason we ask. So it's nice of you. If you click the like button, that's very nice of you. I do honestly really appreciate that. And the other thing about you guys coming in, it's good. We can chat together about what's coming up. That's the other main thing about doing this. Especially with Spirit of Steam, we can all share the excitement there. I've not actually seen anybody on the forums who's outrightly said, I really don't care about Spirit of Steam. I'm not buying Spirit of Steam. I haven't seen that yet. There's definitely people who are not interested in Steam who can take it or leave it. But I've not seen anybody, cussing it, saying why have you done this? And I think there is genuinely a lot of interest about it. So that's really good to see. So we're just outside the station. I love this zoom function that was put in. The PC players had that for such a long time. And when that was brought to console, that was a really nice improvement. It's a small improvement, but a welcome improvement. And this is Newton, platform 2. So this is one of those where the red light is right next to the objective marker, so we just need to be careful we don't overshoot the objective and spad after such a nice run. Plenty of people on the opposite platform, probably waiting to go into Glasgow, I would assume. Move forward a little bit more. Then we can try and get the whole train into the platform. Just feather the throttle a little bit. Perfect. Right, so let's get the doors open. So we weren't too late. We did alright there. Well, there's quite a few people getting off now, isn't there? All change. Everyone's piling up. Look at this. It's strange that it is particular to this station. I've seen this many times at this station. People blocking the doors, refusing to let people out. Oops. This lady is stood on this guy's knees, look. it all adds to the excitement, doesn't it? Right, let's lock the doors. So it took us just over half an hour on that run, so it was quite a nice run. Only 13 miles though, but you know, it doesn't have to be a long journey to be quite pleasant. So thanks everybody for coming in. I do appreciate that. Thanks for joining me. That was just a quick run down to Neilston and back up to Newton, so we can talk about Spirit of Steam and just run something a little bit older that we've got in the current game. So I'm glad everyone's excited, and we'll be back with some more Train Sim World as soon as there's some more news. So join me then, keep an eye on the channel. And until then, bye for now. Take care, everyone. See you on the next one.